This is literally the third time I've filmed this video. For some reason, the files just keep getting corrupted. Hi everybody, today I am taking a look at my second Plum paper planner that I ordered. I did the first review last week of the regular, I think it was the vertical style column. This is a monthly version that I have set up to be a budget notebook for me because I decided that I would like to go with one of these instead of something like the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly. It just wasn't really catching my fancy as much as this did. So yeah, we're going to take a look at this. Before I get into looking through this book, I am going to give you some footage right here of my experience on the website ordering it. So let's just get into that first so you can see what it's like. Since there is so many customization options open for this, I figured going through the process would be helpful. So here I am at the Plum paper website. I decided to go with a monthly planner for the budget situation. And again, you have all these patterns you have to choose from to see which one you might like. They've got a shit ton on here, so if you're really interested in different colors or patterns, you'll probably find something that you like. I went with this brush pattern because I thought it was really soothing, which is something that's helpful when you're talking about money. And then I decided to put budget on the front, so I went to the personalization section, picked the text option, and then change the shape. You can pick all the different shapes. You can change the color of the shapes if you want to. I just put budget on the planner because I thought that that would be, obvious. And then you pick the font that you want. It shows you what they look like so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like before you actually finish. And then you can actually also choose to have the year in several different formats put on it. And since this is going to be a academic style year, I just decided to do 1819 on it to indicate what year this budget is for. Going in, because I picked the neutral for the other planner I looked at, I decided to go with the colorful option. I wanted to see what it looked like in person, and so that's the one that I went with. And you can pick one or the other, and it gives you some previews as to what it might look like as you're flipping through it. Then because I have the monthly layout, that's the one I picked, the 7x9 size. There's a couple other sizes you can go with. I decided to go with my favorite size, standard layout, punched it, and had it bound with coil binding, and I started it in August, made it a 12-month planner. You have a lot of add-ons you can choose from. Because this is budget, I decided to add one of the budget add-ons for $4.50, and I'll walk you through it when we actually walk through the planner. But I decided to add that one on. You can also change around where you put the note pages and things like that. I didn't really mess with that. I kind of just left it alone. I figured I'm not going to go too hog wild with this because I'm not really sure what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. Go to the end and you confirm your order, and that's the end of the ordering process. So the first thing I noticed when I looked at this planner versus the other one that I got was that the coils are different size. They look like they're about the same fatness. Each one of them is a planner. Each one of them has one add-on, but the monthly one has a bigger coil. I think it has a few extra pages, and from what some of you told me in the comments, you can actually request the larger coil when you order. I don't know where you would request it, maybe in the notes section, but you can request it. So this one does have a larger coil. That was one of my beefs with the other planner, was that I was worried that with the small coil, if you use stickers, it was going to get unmanageable pretty quickly. Same style of cover, the clear laminate like this situation, and then the soft, non-terrible, smooth cover underneath. Now, like I said, I got the colorful this time instead of the neutral. I figured I'd try both, and I had no problem going with the colorful for the one I was hanging on to, since I don't usually do a bunch of stickering and shit in a notebook like this. Here is the overview calendar for 2018. This time it's green instead of gray. And then 2019, same situation. And then this is also the same as in the other planner, your special dates, except instead of grays, it's the rainbow colors for their color scheme, which I really like how each one of these is like an ombre of one color, like ombre of the dark minty green, ombre of a purple, ombre of a coral, and ombre of a lime. I think that's really pretty, and it looks like those are the colors that go throughout the planner too. Ideas, plans, and goals. I'm not sure how I'm going to use these two sections for the budget notebook. I will be doing a budget setup next month. I promise. I know. It's not that I haven't wanted to film budget videos for you guys. It's that I've been too nervous to. So I'm getting the nerve. I'm screwing up my courage. I'm putting my courage to the sticking place, as Lady Macbeth would say. Oh, aren't I fancy? Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm thinking about it. It may be for projecting upcoming expenses. This could be used for sinking funds. I don't know what this could be used for. I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking about it. Here's a blank note page, and then we get into the dividers. Now, the difference between the dividers and the colorful version is instead of saying the month, they have the month letter, like the first letter of the month, and it's the color of whatever they pick for the month as opposed to the grayscale. And then the monthly highlights page is also the same, but in color. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this for the budget, but I'll think about it. And I'm not a fan of how it's on this like glossy cardstock. I just worry that writing on it's going to take a different kind of pen. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. So then I have one lined note page, and then the month, which is basically the same month as in the regular plum paper layout, except this one has the color, the green all over and like the random spots. It's pretty unobtrusive so far, though. There's not a bunch of frou-frou shit around the sides. It's just the color, which I do appreciate, because if I was going to use this color in like a regular style of planner, I wouldn't have to cover up a bunch of like decoration, because I don't like having decoration in my planner. I want to have the decoration. And then because this is the monthly, you have the monthly spread, and then you have 11 lined note pages after the month. So it's plenty of note pages space to talk about projects, to list out expenses. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all of those. I honestly don't think I needed all of these note pages for each month for the budget notebook, but I don't know for sure yet. So we'll see how it evolves as time moves on. But the monthly does come with a handful of lined spreads after each monthly overview. And now I'm just going to flip through so you can see the color scheme. And that is the end of the monthly calendar section of the planner. I really like how mellow the color scheme is in here. Like it's pretty and it's bright, but it's not overwhelming. I do really like that. So this is the add-on section in the back, and this is budget, and it's got the B here with the budget. And this looks like it's more in the neutral color scheme, which is fine. We have a bank accounts page that has like all of your information for several bank accounts. It gives you room for 4. This is a yearly cash flow section. It gives you 12 months worth of income, expenses, giving, savings, debt, and then another line item that you can use for whatever, or you can use as a total. There's 12 months of that, but it's not listed per month, so you can write your own months in. And then at the bottom, there's financial goals for the year and notes. And then there are 12 monthly assessment spreads. So there's 12 of these spreads, and it lets you write in your own month. On one side, you have income, budget, your checking accounts, your savings account, your debt goal, your savings goal, budget goals, notes, fixed and periodic expenses with room for the date, the expense, and the dollar amount with a fixed expense total, monthly income, fixed expenses, savings, and spending budget at the bottom of the page. And then on this side is your variable expenses. Gives you a whole page for that with the same thing, date, expense, and dollar amount, and then a total at the bottom, and then room at the bottom for spending budget, variable expenses, and remaining balance. This is a very detailed monthly budget spread. I wish I could incorporate each of these spreads into the month as opposed to having them in the back. That would be really, really awesome if that was possible, but I didn't see how that was possible in the like setup of the planner, but that would be really cool. But otherwise, having it back here, this is nice because I don't have to draw this shit in. I can just use it, and I think I'll be more likely to stick to it if I am able to just write things in as opposed to, I love making spreads and decorating them, but when it comes to something like budgeting where I am already so like emotionally stressed out about it, I think having like something simple to fill out is really helpful. And then we have bill pay sheets, and this is two pages of bills with room for bill, dollar amount, date, and then a checkbox for the whole year, and it gives you 2 of these spreads. The one issue I would have with this is that for variable bills like water bill or something where it changes every month, you're not going to have the same dollar amount every month. Now I guess you could estimate, but I don't know about you guys, but like for us, our power bill, for example, varies wildly depending on whether it's the summer we're using AC, the winter we're using heat, or the parts of the year we don't have to use either. Like it goes up and down. So I'm not sure if this is going to be as practical as I would want it to be, but I do like this spread. And then in the back here is debt tracker, and it gives you space for 3 creditors and a whole spread of months for you to check off how much you're paying on it. I would imagine if you have more than 3 creditors, this might not be helpful, but you could just copy it over to this spread here and do a second one. For us, this is fine because we don't have a shit ton of creditors, but I would imagine that for some people who have more, I guess you get a second budget insert, except that you'll have all the other stuff as well. So having an option to have multiple debt trackers would be really helpful. And then there is some dotted note pages that like dot grid that come with every planner. This is standard. And then in the back, more standard things, the standard passwords, which I'm not going to use because I I think that this is a bad idea to write these down somewhere where somebody could get their hands on it. And then a couple of contact pages, U.S. holidays, and then a 2020 overview. And then the pocket, which I said in the other planner video that I think it feels kind of flimsy, and that hasn't changed. It still feels flimsy in this one. I will say the pocket is different color based on whether or not you have the neutral planner or the colorful. So that's cool. The back of the planner. Now I also did a pen test, and the pens did remarkably well on this paper. I'm going to insert footage right here of the pen test from the other planner because I'm not going to repeat it. It's the same fucking paper. But the pen test worked out really well. The thing that really blew my mind was that the braille situation where the raised ridges from when you write on a paper with a heavy hand didn't happen even with the gel pen for me. The one issue I did run into though is because this paper is so slick, which is one of the downfalls of a Plum paper planner for me. I hate the feel of the paper. It's really thick, nice paper, but the slick, like coated feel of it just sets off my weird tactile sensation, like when you touch a newspaper. And because of that, the gel pen did not dry quickly, like it smeared right off the bat. So I probably would not use a gel pen in this. I'd probably just use like a Sharpie or something. I don't know what I'd use. I'm not sure yet because I'm going to use this one. I'm giving the other one away, but I'm going to use this one. And I'm not sure how the feel of the paper is going to bug me. I wouldn't want it for my daily, weekly planner because I touch that every single day. I'm in it every single day, messing around in it, and I think the feel of the paper would start to piss me off. But the budget planner, I don't imagine I'm going to be deep into it every single day. I'll probably be in it every week, so I might be able to handle the paper feeling. I will say, overall, same review as the other planner. These are solid, and you can go and you can pick your own options, which I think is fantastic. And, the site's not that overwhelming. In the next month or so, I will be reviewing other planners where you can also customize them, like the Agendio and the Purple Trail planners. But those websites were a lot more overwhelming. The Plum Paper site is really not difficult to navigate. And so much about this planner is high quality, and I really like it. The biggest drawback for me for it is the paper. I can't with the paper. And in this particular layout for the monthly, I do wish that there was maybe less note pages so it could be a little skinnier, and maybe a little cheaper. But that's the biggest thing that I guess I could say, but that's personal preference about the monthly. I'm also really glad that the color scheme for the colorful is not super in your face or overly decorated or frou-frou or full of girly shit or full of fancy shit. Like it's a planner that has color in it, but that you can personalize and make your own without having to worry about somebody else making it their own. And I really, really appreciate that. So this would be a colorful layout. Even in the other layout, I could live with this colorful layout and be happy with it, as opposed to other colorful planners where it's a deal breaker for me. That's what I'm looking at for my budget planner. I will be setting a video up. If you're interested in seeing me do budget videos for somebody who's fails ass at doing a budget, if you want to see me fail ass at it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you do your budget yourself, give me your tips because that would be super handy. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.